Hi guys, today we are going to be digging into a package that I've had for quite some time, but it's something that I'm literally so excited to try, but I haven't felt like this was a rush per se, because these products aren't like new to the market. These aren't really new makeup products. They've been around for quite some time. They've had a lot of hype online, like a lot of hype, especially on Instagram. I know for myself, I've seen advertisements for these for like a very, very long time. And there's a reason for that, because these products look absolutely amazing. The packaging on these, out of this world. I'm so excited to be trying them out. We are of course talking about Zeesea Cosmetics, which I'm sure if you read the title of the video, you've already seen that. I have gotten a package from Zeesea in the past, but none of the things in that package were products that it's not the kind of products that I normally reach for. Like they sent me some colorful mascaras and stuff, and just items that is not really in my everyday makeup routine. They did, however, send me some blushes in the past though that I do really like, and I do want to use one of them today, even though I did put on a little bit of blush because I completely forgot that I was gonna do this video. Who am I? Anyway, we are going to be using one of these blushes as well. This is in the shade 04. Like the packaging on all of these products, this I already had in my collection. Like I said, this was from a previous PR package that I received from them. It's just absolutely stunning. Like their packaging is just so nice. Like it feels so luxurious, and these products aren't that expensive for, if you would imagine, if you were to guess, if you had never seen this brand before and you would guess what these products cost, you would be pleasantly surprised by the price tag, is what I'm trying to say. I'll of course link them down below and all of that. I think I have a code with them. I think I got a discount code with them last time I got a package from them. It's not affiliated. I will leave all the information down below if you want to go check it out. This video was not sponsored at all, obviously. But today we're going to be focusing on one of their eyeshadow palettes. So I was sent 2 eyeshadow palettes. I'm only going to use one of them because the other one does contain a pressed glitter, which is not my favorite, and the other color story is just not really my thing. I will show you that palette after I show you the one that we're going to be using today. So today I want to use the one that they did in collaboration with the British Museum. And like I said before, you guys have probably seen this palette already online. I know some of my friends have made videos with this as well. I saw this morning before I started filming this that Karen Harris actually did some swatches on her story, so I'm guessing her video is probably going to go up before mine. Not really sure, but if I can find her video, I will link her video down below as well if you want to go check out her thoughts, because it's always nice to get multiple opinions about the same product and the same brand. So I am honestly really excited because this palette swatched like a dream. Like I wasn't expecting that at all, because this is more of a sort of Asian marketing brand. It is a brand made in China, and usually I feel like the advertisements and stuff that I see and the people that I see use these products are Asian, and the Asian community tends to steer a little bit less towards like super pigmented shadows like we do here, at least for myself. Like I feel like their ideal formulas are a little bit less pigmented and just a little more subtle, but when I swatched this palette, it swatched so nicely. So I will say though, I did not swatch the glitter in here because this is like a glitter with little stars in it, which is not something that I'm ever going to use. Like I'll be completely honest, and I didn't want to swatch it and get it everywhere because I can't with glitters. I just can't. And with this like split pan here, I swatched them individually because I didn't want to mess up the pattern, because I figured that this shade, when I swirl this together, it would create sort of the same thing as this one. So I wanted to keep this one clean. I don't know what these will look like swirled together, but I'm not going to do that because I don't want to ruin it, if you know what I mean. But oh my god, like these shimmers they almost feel wet, and they look so shiny, and I feel like I'm going to love them. And the matte seemed really, really nice and pigmented and buildable, and I'm so pleasantly surprised having just swatched that palette that I can't wait to put it on my eyes. The other thing that I got sent, and this is probably the thing that I've showed so many people since I got it. Every time I have someone over, I'm like, listen, you gotta look at this. Like, this is so cool. So they sent me one of their lipsticks, and this is the Palace Identity, let's see, what are you called? Gilt Gold Dragon Velvet Lipstick. And again, you've probably seen this on Instagram if you're on Instagram. If not, maybe this is your first time seeing this and you're gonna be blown away. So, I mean, just look at the packaging to begin with. Like, this is just everything. The way it comes packaged, the way it's presented, it's a whole experience in itself. And I think that, like, gifting something like this would just be amazing. Like, imagine getting a lipstick like this for a Christmas present, or even like a birthday present, or whatever. Just getting it for yourself. Like, just opening it is an experience on its own. And just the lipstick itself, it's just so beautiful. And I waited until this very moment to swatch it because I didn't want to ruin it. I didn't want to ruin the pattern. I didn't want to mess it up, but obviously I want to use it because it's stunning and it's a lipstick and I don't want it to go to waste. So of course I had to swatch it, and the color is so nice. It's almost like a muted red. I don't know if that is the best way to explain it. It's almost like it leans a little bit like on the dark orange side, but it's still a red, and it just looks so good. And the formula felt, like I said on the packaging, very velvety, and I think I'm going to love it. So I think we're gonna start by putting on the lipstick, but before I do that, I do want to show you the other palette that they sent me as well. So here is the second palette, and this one has a cat on the outside, and this is also a palette that they did in collaboration with the British Museum. I'm not sure if this has, okay, so it says Fireworks 16 color eyeshadow. So again, like the way everything comes packaged is just so well done. Like you can tell that a lot of thought went, I'm gonna try to get this out. A lot of thought went into the packaging of these. Okay, there we go. So here's what the actual palette looks like, and I have shown this in a video before. I showed it in a haul video that I did a little while ago. I will link that up in the corner if you want to see it, but I mean the packaging, like I said, so sturdy and heavy and well made. And then the inside of the palette, whoa, has a little slip on it that kind of matches the outside with the cat. And here's what the colors look like. As you can see, there's a pressed glitter here, and the color story in this one is way more muted than the other one, and I feel like this is not the kind of color story that I would ever reach for. So I'm going to gift this to someone because I know that after I make a video with this, if I were to try this, I would never reach for it again just because of the color story. The colors just aren't my thing. So I'm gonna very happily gift this to someone who's definitely going to get a lot more use out of it than me. But for this video, we're gonna be using this palette. Does this one have a name on it? It just says O2. I guess that's the name of the palette. It's palette number 2. So we're going to start with a lipstick because I want to wear throughout the video and just kind of see how it wears. So I'm going to start by lining my lips because I do like doing that with bullet lipsticks. I'm going to use this lip liner from Laura Mercier. It's in the shade Crimson, which is a very fitting name. This lip liner might be a little bit too pink for the lipstick, but let's go ahead and try it. I'm so excited. It just looks so pretty. Like the engraving on it and everything is just, oh my god, like the attention to detail and like the weightiness of this, it feels so expensive. Short disclaimer though, my lips are extremely dry, so we'll see how this looks on dry lips. If you don't have dry lips, it might look a little bit better, but maybe this will be like the lipstick that's going to just look good on every single lip, regardless of if they're dry or not. Like that would be amazing. So let me go ahead and apply this. Yeah, the color is definitely not the same as the lip liner, but that's okay. Man, that is so comfortable and so pretty. And it really is sort of that velvet kind of formula. If you know what that means, it's hard to explain, but it feels very smooth and silky, but also a little bit like silicone at the same time. And it's just very, very comfortable. It's definitely going to, I don't know if I should say definitely transfer, but I would assume that this would transfer a little bit, but we'll find out after I've worn it for a little time, and I'll do like a little thing on the back of my hand and see if anything rubs off. But let me go ahead and look in the mess in front of me and see if I can find my eyeshadow primer, which is right here. And I'm gonna start by priming with, of course, my Natasha Denona eyeshadow base, and then we can put on some eyeshadows. I don't know what I want to do today. I literally have no idea. There are so many beautiful colors in that palette, and I feel like I either want to go sort of warm tone or a cool tone. I don't know if I want to mix them, but I feel like that's one thing that's nice about this palette, is that there actually are like a lot of options. Despite there not being that many shades in it, I feel like the color story is quite versatile and you can go in a lot of different directions. And that is something that I really enjoy in palettes, and one of the reasons I don't really like, it's not that I don't like monochromatic palettes, but they're just not my favorite, because I do like having options, and I feel like you can have options in smaller palettes without it being like too messy and too much, but you can still incorporate like different kinds of colors so that you can, you know, play with a little bit more than just one. And I also just got such a wonderful package from Rephr. They messaged me the other day, they're like, hey, do you need backups of some of your brushes? And I was like, yes. So I have a bunch of my absolute favorite brushes here that are clean and ready to go, and I'm just freaking love Rephr. I'm sorry, but They make my life so much easier, and I'm so grateful to them. I do have a 20% discount link with Rephr that's always in my description box if you ever want to shop from them. You can buy individual brushes as well as like sets or whatever. I know I don't really mention it often, but I do have a 20% discount if you're ever interested in getting these brushes because they're amazing. You guys know it was like the only things that I ever use. So I was very intrigued by this blue because this blue it's definitely a satin, but it almost feels more like a cream to powder in a way. Like I feel like I can absolutely use that color in my crease and it would look beautiful. But I don't know if green is what I'm feeling today. Saying that though, I'll probably end up with a full like green and mint look because I just want to try out these shimmers. Like these shimmers just look so good, and so does the gold shade. But I don't feel like using. I know I saw Karen Harris. I know I said I just watch her stories, but like she showed the look that she did, and she used all of the warm tones. So I'm assuming that a video is probably coming from her very soon, where she's using probably the orange, red, brown, and gold. So maybe I will stick in the blue family anyway because it's kind of me, you know. So we're going to start with this one as a transition shade. These don't have any names on it, but this one has a little symbol of a spade, which is really, really cute. So I'm going to take my Rephr 13 as per usual. I'm just going to make sure I tap out my creases a little bit here. And I'm just going to use this as my transition shade. Like, wow, that's pigmented. That is so much more pigmented than what I was expecting. Because like I was saying, going into this, I was kind of expecting everything to just be a little bit more toned down just because of like the market that they're in, and I feel like the market that they're gearing towards, but maybe they're wanting to just get the word out to people who like color like myself too, and show that like this brand is actually for me, because I really feel like their eyeshadows so far are much more just intense and impressive than what I was first expecting going into this. This looks so nice. Like I love that color. That is such a beautiful shade of, it's like a light teal. I don't know if that's a good way to explain it, but I love this. I'm gonna take this under my eye as well. We're not gonna do anything fancy. We're just gonna see how these colors perform used in a normal way. And I'm fully aware that this look is not gonna go with the lipstick at all. But that is okay. We're gonna wear the lipstick because I want to test it out and I want to see how it performs, and I also want to just play with the shadows that I am the most drawn to in this palette, and it just happens to be the blues because you guys know me and blues, we just go hand in hand. Like if there is a blue in a palette, I just can't not use it. And like I said, I love the shade of this blue. It is stunning. It's building beautifully, it's blending beautifully, it's doing exactly what it is that I want to match it. That looks so nice. I love this. This is looking so seamless. I am going to just take my Rephr 14 and just kind of run it over the edge to make sure it's even more blended, even though I really don't think I need it because this is looking amazing so far. Okay, so I'm gonna take the same brush, of course, because I'm lazy, even though I still have like clean brushes in front of me. I'm still gonna use the same one. And I'm gonna grab the dark blue here and I'm gonna swirl my brush into it because like I said, this is definitely more of a creamy formula. It doesn't have any kick up at all. It does remind me a lot of the cream to powders from Natasha Denona. Picks up beautifully. I'm gonna start that in the outer corner of my eye and we're gonna use this to deepen up the look with. Okay, so it's definitely more satiny than I was expecting, but I think used as a deepening shade is going to work just fine. But it definitely has more sheen to it than I originally thought it did, but I think this is going to blend quite nicely into that crease color. Yeah, I mean, this is super easy to work with. I'm gonna take a little bit of this underneath my eye as well, just to make sure I connect it in the outer corner. And I'm just gonna wing it out ever so slightly, just in the same position that I did with the first one. I feel like I pulled this blue up a little bit too high on this side, so I'm gonna dip into this sort of bone colored matte shade. It's a little bit more of a peachy shade than I would call it a neutral, but I'm just gonna run that over the edge here so we can pull that shade down a little bit. This is like the only way that I will ever use a shade like this. It's just gonna help blend if I make a mistake. And I think this looks beautiful. And then for the lid shade, I'm of course going to put down some glitter primer before I put on the shimmer, but I can't wait to use one of these shimmers because I just feel like they're going to be absolutely stunning. So I'm actually going to use the brush that came with this palette because this side of the brush looks literally perfect for shimmers. So I'm going to take my glitter primer and just put this all over my lid first. And then let's see, I think what I want to do is I want to just use, maybe I'll start with the darkest shade on this side, and I'm using the sticky side of the brush, wow, look at that, to pick up the shadow with. And then we can do like this one kind of swirl together in the middle portion. But I'm gonna use this first in the middle and drag it out so we can see. Oh, that looks so pretty. Like, I really didn't think that these shimmers would be as insane as they are. I don't know why. I really don't know why. But this looks so nice. So I'm gonna try to leave room for more shimmers because I just want to use like all the shades of blue in this palette. And then with the other side of my brush, actually, I'm just gonna wipe this off a little bit because I'm so lazy. Okay, and then I'm gonna dip into this one. I'm just gonna kind of go all over because I want to make sure it's nice and mixed. That's more of like a turquoise. It's hard to explain, but that looks so pretty. And I'm gonna use that in the front portion of my lid here. Ooh, that's way more like sparkly. Ooh, I love that. This color reminds me so much of one in the Kaleidos, what is it? The turquoise palette? Astro turquoise? No, that's not the name of it. Whatever their turquoise palette is, like this shade reminds me so much of like one of the shimmers in that one, except that that one has more of a, like an orange shift to it. Whereas this one I feel like doesn't, but oh my god, that looks so pretty. Like, I'm a little bit speechless right now. And I'll be honest, this is making me want to try the other palette too, but I just know that that color story isn't really for me. But look at that. Wow. Oh, that looks so good. Okay, I need more of this shade, so I'm gonna take this on a pencil brush. This shade is a little bit of like a putty formula. I don't know if you can see like the indent because I really had to sort of press my brush into it to be able to pick it up, which isn't really a big deal at all, but just wanted to let you know. But oh man, this is so pretty. I'm just gonna put that on the front portion of my lower lash line here, and then we can use the lighter shade in the other duo as my inner corner shade. So I'm gonna take the same brush, just wiping it off, and I'm gonna dip into sort of this white shimmer, and we're gonna see how that looks in the inner corner. I'm not gonna spray it, I just want to put a little bit of this just right in there. That is really pretty as well. Man, these shimmers are stunning. Like, they remind me a lot of the Unsize shimmers, especially like their super glittery formula. If you tried that one, you would absolutely love these. Like, I'm so impressed by how, like, they're so different. Like, I can see a very clear difference in like all of the shades in here, and I didn't think that with the shimmers, like especially the blue ones, I didn't think that they would be so different, but I love this. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and finish off my eyes. I'll come back and we can put on some of this blush so you can see how this one performs as well. Okay, the eyes are done. In my waterline, I put Zulu from ColourPop. It's just a turquoise, and then I just did some liner and mascara. Let's go ahead and put on this blush. So I would say that I like these blushes okay, but for me, they're not as pigmented as I would like in a blush because, I mean, this looks very bright, right? So I'm gonna kind of dig in here with my brush. It doesn't pick up a lot. It's very kind of hard pressed, so I have to go in quite heavily. And you will see, like, it definitely has pigment, but it's not as bright as, you know, you would kind of expect. And this is definitely the color that is the most intense out of all of the ones that I have from them. All of the other ones are kind of like a very light pink with like a very light wash of color. But if you don't like pigmented blushes, you would love these. I mean, they're super easy to work with, and the formula is beautiful. It's not a matte, but it's also not a satin. Like, it's not like super glowy by any means. It's like a nice in between, if you will. So I do need some kind of a highlighter. I didn't think of that yet. Let me just make sure that my blush is nice and blended. But like, these eyeshadows, I cannot stop staring at them. Like, they are so freaking beautiful. Should I go for like a blue highlighter today? Like, would that be kind of fun? Let's go with blue, because why not? I'm not gonna wear this lipstick for the rest of the day, so I think that a blue highlighter is going to go well with like a nude lip. Plus I'm going to the dentist later and I'm going to take my lipstick off anyway. So I'm going to use my blue one from Bitter Lace Beauty. I don't remember the name of this because I don't use a blue highlighter that often, but this is in the shade Lucid. So I'm just going to take that on my Rephr 16, which is like their largest eyeshadow brush. I love using this for highlighter. This is just such a gorgeous, really just like sparkly, glittery blue highlighter. I think it looks so nice. Like, it's not so blue that you're like, oh my gosh, she's wearing a blue highlighter, you know? But like, it still has that blue sort of shift to it when you move your head, and it just looks really, really nice. So that's basically going to be the look. For the lipstick, let's see. Yeah, it definitely transfers, but not that much. Like, this is definitely a matte formula, but it's not so matte that you can eat and drink and not have it transfer or anything. But it looks really nice, and I think the color is beautiful. It's very comfortable, like very, very comfortable. And just the experience of using this lipstick makes this lipstick so much better, like so much better. So, I mean, my impression so far with everything that I've tried today is just, I'm blown away, honestly. I was not expecting to like the eyeshadows as much as I do, and I really want to play more with this now. So if you guys want to see more looks with this palette, let me know, and I can put it in my pile of things that I need to fill more with, which is it's growing pretty quickly, so who knows when that will end up being. But I would like to do like a 2-look 1 palette video with this, because I mean, just look how beautiful they are. They are stunning. Like, just so nice. I'm so impressed. So like I said, will be linked down below if you want to go check it out. They sell on Amazon. I think they sell on AliExpress as well. And then they have their own website. So there's plenty of places that you can find the brand, and they have a lot of stuff. And if all of their stuff is as good as this, like, I want to try more. Like, I might even make an order myself. And I actually was reached out to by like their sister brand. I forget the name of their brand, but they're sending me some stuff too, so I'm really excited about that. So we're definitely gonna make a video when it comes, and if that quality is as good as this, it's gonna be a good time. So that's gonna be it for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see some more first impression videos, here of course is my playlist, and if you're new, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in my next video.